We do have breaking news out of the NASCAR newsroom that Josh Berry is not returning to the number 21 for next season. This is absolutely mind-blowing, but I ain't absolutely, golly, man. This is absolutely mind-blowing. I'm speechless by this, but knowing the Wood brothers this year and the down year they're having so far, I kind of expected Josh Berry to lead the Wood brothers. So now who takes the ride? Jesse Love or somebody like that. That's going to be the more than likely scenario because he's a candidate. And here's what Bob Pockers, here's the quote that Bob Pockers said in a statement below, saying that Josh Berry's out of the Wood Brothers ride in 2027. Where could he land? Colleague, FRM, if they have openings. Who would take that ride? I'd say Jesse Love is a candidate. I agree with Bob on this part because Jesse Love has been rumored to multiple race teams for the Cup next year. Legacy Motor Club was one. Legacy Motor Club, RCR, another one, but I don't know if they'll allow him because some sponsors require the guy to be 25 or older, pretty much. So we'll see where he ends up. Going back to that horrific crash that Christopher Bell and Chase Elliott got into, that crash injured Christopher Bell with a hurt ankle and a fractured wrist. Yesterday, Joe Gibbs Racing announced that Christopher Bell has been medically cleared to race this weekend at Pocono. So, and to be honest, there will be a backup driver on standby. We do not know who. I could tell you it's not Corey Heim because he's through 2311. But I could say it could either be Brent Cruz, Brandon Jones, or Ryan Truex. Ryan Truex does a lot of sim time for Joe Gibbs Racing for situations like this. So we could see him hopping in the 20 car if Bell doesn't feel comfortable during the race and needs to rest. So I could see Ryan Truex hopping in that car. According to NASCAR's Mike Ford, stated that the impact was the hardest impact since 2015. The hardest one, looking at the telemetry of that wreck. Bell did take a little bit more time in the care center because looking over if anything was wrong, and they did. But there was no interview because he did decline that, knowing something was wrong. But a photo circulated over social media that there was a photo of Bell in the cast, which means that he had a fractured arm as he left the racetrack. And then Joe Gibbs Racing said in a statement right here, Christopher Bell suffered a fractured wrist after an accident on lap 148 of Sunday's NASCAR Cup Series race at Michigan International Speedway. After being evaluated and released from the infield care center, Bell returned home to North Carolina where x-rays confirmed the fracture. Bell has been cleared and will be behind the wheel of the number 20 Toyota Camry XSE this weekend at Pocono Raceway. And then Christopher Bell hopped on and said, "Thank you to each and everyone who reached out to check on me. I truly feel the love." And he is grateful for the team of doctors, JGR, NASCAR, and all of the previous drivers who have helped pave the way for the safety standards in our sport. See you in Pocono. That was just a scary, scary wreck that I did see that happening. Scary wreck, to be honest with you. And then did Denny Hamlin literally just give who his replacement after he retires next season as Brent Cruz? That's kind of a shocking understatement. A statement coming from Denny Hamlin when asked by reporters, do you know who the driver is going to be for next season? And he gave the name Brent Cruz. Like, wow, that's kind of surprising because Denny Hamlin did talk about what his plans for after 2027 were, and he has said that he will hang up the helmet at that time. So we'll see where all that ends up going for driver 11 after this upcoming season on what he's going to do after next year. Brendan Gaughan is coming out of retirement to run the San Diego race on the Coronado Naval Base. Gaughan, who is a former NASCAR Winston West Series champion for the team, will be back in the NASCAR competition since leaving in 2020. After the 2020 season, he will pilot the number 20 South Point Hotel and Casino Chevrolet Silverado RST. Gaughan and McNally have deep ties tracing back to over 25 years. As the driver and owner pair combined to capture consecutive Winston West Series championships in 2000 and 2001. He was also involved in establishing Orleans Racing in 2000, the organization that Gaughan took the victory for his first NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series victory in 2002. He did say in a statement, "This is so cool to come back and race in a truck again." For Bill, Gaughan said, "We've got a ton of history together, tons of great memories, and this is going to be something we'll talk about for a long time. Ever since I heard the race at Coronado was going to happen, I knew I wanted to run something, and I'm just glad Bill and I were able to make this happen. This is a great chance for the NASCAR community to celebrate and recognize our military with a unique event, and I wanted to be a part of it." He will take the green flag for his 218th NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series start and his 504th National Series start on Friday, June 19th at 7 o'clock Eastern Time on FS1. Right there, FS1. Tickets are now on sale for the 2027 Daytona 500, and you might want to snag that one up before it gets sold out. They did announce this today that the tickets are now on sale for the 2027 Daytona 500 season opener of the 2027 NASCAR Cup Series season. Now that the tickets are officially on sale for the most prestigious race on the NASCAR schedule, they're ready to welcome everyone back, said Frank Kelleher, the president of Daytona International Speedway. This past February, the fans were awesome that they came to a thrilling edition of the Daytona 500, where Tyler Reddick only led with one lap, and that was the final lap of the Great American Race. The number 45 muscled his way to the finish line with a .308 second victory over former Daytona 500 winner Ricky Stenhouse Jr. to give Michael Jordan another trophy in his trophy case. Though fans will have to wait until next year for the 69th running of the Great American Race, but there's still one more race at Daytona, and that's the Coke Zero Sugar 400 on August 28th through 29th, the regular season finale, before the Cup Series chase begins at Darlington the next week. Another race for NASCAR on Prime is in the books, and the ratings are in. According to Adam Stern from the Sportsman's Journal, Amazon Prime got 2.07 million viewers, up about 17% from last year's. comparable figures. That is using Nielsen's big data plus panel figures. And it's worth noting that NASCAR itself might report a different figure. NASCAR stopped using big data as part of its calculations beginning with the race at Dover, using panel-only metrics instead On3 is reporting all figures in big data plus panel when available. This year's race at Michigan, broadcast by Amazon Prime, was won by Denny Hamlin. Hamlin overcame from starting at the back for the second week in a row last week, jumping to start at Nashville, and now this past week at Michigan. Went on to tie Kyle Busch with 63 Cup Series victories, placing him 9th on the all-time wins list with the late KB. 17% viewership increase year-over-year. Viewership is one of the biggest of the season. That offers a hopeful sign that NASCAR is beginning to catch some more traction as the season progresses. There has been a concerning trend of many races posting slightly declining year-over-year viewership before the last few weeks. Daytona was plus 11%, Kansas plus 26%, and Charlotte plus 12% have notably bucked that trend. And now Michigan plus 17% is another strong data point in that direction. 2 of those 4 were broadcast on Prime. You can see the race-by-race viewership changes below. Figures are rounded to the nearest percentage point. And here we are and here are the percentages from so far this portion of the season. Daytona, 11% on Fox. Atlanta on Fox went down just 2%. Coda on Fox, down by 5%. Phoenix down plus 1 on FS1. Las Vegas went down by 8%. Darlington on FS1 was 4%. Martinsville on FS1 was down 1%. Bristol on FS1 by 5%. Kansas, which was on Fox, 26% more viewers. Talladega only lost 2% of its viewers that were on Fox. FS1 for TMS at Texas, minus 11. What's the problem there? What happened there? Watkins Glen had no comparison. But for the All-Star race at Dover, minus 8%, but that's when they switched to the panel-only data. Charlotte, which was on Prime, plus 12%. Nashville went down just 3% of last year's. And then Michigan this year, plus 17%. And we will have another look at that next week when that report comes out for Pocono, when we get that race done, which is on Sunday. Time Magazine also released its most influential people in sports 2026, and Carson Hocevar was added to that list, as well as LeBron James, Mike Tirico, Caitlin Clark, Saquon Barkley, Lionel Messi, Roger Goodell, Shohei Ohtani of the Dodgers, Lando Norris of F1, Rory McIlroy, Aaron Judge, Jackson Smith, Najiba, Mike Tirico, Kurt Signetti, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander of the reigning Oklahoma City Thunder champions, Jack Hughes, Lindsey Vonn for Innovators, Michael Rubin, Pat McAfee, excuse me. What a joke he's on there for. Maverick star Cooper Flagg. In the leaders category, Stephen Curry, Kimi Antonelli, the F1 star, Dana White of the USC, Shams Charania, Carson Hocevar, Bill Simmons, reigning national champion Fernando Mendoza as well. Amna Al-Kubaisi. Those are some of the names that were listed in the Time Magazine's 100 influential people in sports. So congratulations to Carson Hocevar in the NASCAR garage for earning that honor. And he is on pretty much hot streak so far in the NASCAR Cup Series, getting that win in Talladega. And then a lot more top fives after that and top tens. He's in the game. I feel I can feel a few more wins can come for this young man that's on my hat right now. I smell a few more wins for Carson Hocevar and a long career behind the wheel as a number 77, unless anything changes. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for another episode of NASCAR News Now. Stay safe out there. Stay cool. It's like 90 degrees out here. Jeez Louise, man. But anyways, guys, stay cool. Hopefully we'll see you on another episode. This has been NASCAR News Now. And what if it was produced by Prime? Considering that. So anyways, guys, take care and have a good rest of your day. Stay cool and enjoy the race on Sunday. Goodbye, everybody.